6 o'clock news starts right now.
Well, we begin tonight with the possibility of storms right here in San Antonio. Our KSAT weather team tracking when they're expected to arrive.
So let's get right to meteorologist Adam Caskey, who is timing all of this out for us. Adam.
Yeah, nothing around town right now. If you have any outdoor activities or say baseball practice, soccer practice this evening, you're going to be okay. It's later on tonight from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. That's our primary window of opportunity for these thunderstorms. Now, of course, we need the rain. Unfortunately, it could come at a cost in terms of severe storms with large hail and localized gusty winds possible. The primary threat, as usual around here, is the potential for large hail, 1 to 2 inches in diameter. But remember, that would be very localized, and we cannot know what neighborhood's going to get hit by any hail until that hail-producing storm develops. That's why, of course, we'll be monitoring that all throughout the night for you. Authority radar right now, very quiet, just really warm and humid outside. The shower and thunderstorm activity, even some big hail already up closer to Austin and now developing around Lakeway. That's all out of our area, and even some activity just west of Lake Buchanan there. Overall, we're not expecting the action for several more hours, but of course we'll be tracking it later on tonight. And notice the cooler temperatures to the north. We're 88. 45 in Lubbock. There's a temperature difference. There's a cold front headed our way. That's going to impact tomorrow and the rest of the week. I'll have the latest futurecast and show you some of the timing of the storms in just a bit.
You can just feel the humidity out there, that's for sure. All right, thank you, Adam. Let's go to TransGuide right now. This is I-10 at Frio. You can see very slow going in especially the westbound lanes of I-10, excuse me, the eastbound lanes of I-10 as you head towards downtown, both the upper and lower decks. Very slow going at this hour.
Now to a story that is hard to comprehend. A 4-year-old boy allegedly starved to death. And now that child's story is at the center of a trial that began today.
One of the people accused in his death, this woman, his stepmother, Miranda Casares. We have to warn you, the details of this case, even on day one, are disturbing. As Erica Hernandez reports, a video was played in court showing Benjamin Casares begging for food.
This short video clip is of 4-year-old Benjamin Cervera asking for some bread. This video allegedly taken by his stepmother, Miranda Casares, the morning Benjamin died on August 17, 2021. Casares, along with Benjamin's father, Brandon Cervera, are charged with injury to a child. The state in opening arguments calling Casares a monster.
Some children's monsters live under the bed at night. But Benjamin Cervera's monster lived in the room next door, and he called her mom.
Verriales went on to say that at a month shy of Benjamin's 5th birthday, the boy only weighed 28 pounds. Verriales added that at night, Benjamin would try to sneak in the kitchen to find food, but everything, including his room, had locks on it.
There's been straps placed on there to prevent the child, Benjamin, from getting inside the pantry, from getting inside the fridge to get any food.
The photos shown were of the locking devices on cabinets as well as on the closet door in his bedroom. Casares is getting emotional as photos of Benjamin in the hospital were shown to the jury. The little boy also had bruising on several areas of his body. The co-defendant in this case, Benjamin's father, Brandon Cervera, is still awaiting his future trial date. He is also facing up to life in prison if found guilty. Now, testimony in Miranda's case continues tomorrow morning. At the Cadena Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Tonight, the Kerr County Sheriff's Office has made an arrest in a deadly shooting. This shooting happened just before 2 this morning on Corbin Circle. That's not far from Harper Road and I-10 in Kerrville. According to the Kerr County Sheriff's Office, 33-year-old Isidro Arias Benitez was arrested for killing his wife, 36-year-old Ana Marie Puente Ortiz. Investigators say that Arias Benitez they arrested him based on evidence found there at the scene. He was booked into the Kerr County Jail on a $500,000 bond.
Tonight, San Antonio police investigating after an officer's vehicle hit by an allegedly stolen car. That crash happened this morning near Trinity and Woodlawn on the west side. According to SAPD, the officer's vehicle hit after that car ran a red light. SAPD tells us 2 teenagers in the other car that was reported stolen. Both of them say a third person was the driver who ran away after the crash. Everyone involved had minor injuries. They're all expected to recover. No word on what charges are expected to be filed yet.
A scary scene this morning after a bus carrying pre-K for SA students crashed on the highway, but thankfully no one here was hurt. This happened around 9:30 this morning on Loop 410 near McCullough Avenue. According to SAPD, the bus hydroplaned as rain moved through the area. No other cars were involved. Pre-K for SA says all the students on board that bus were wearing child safety belts.
San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg addressing the continued rumors that the city's angling to get the San Antonio Spurs to move downtown. Buzz around the NBA franchise potentially moving out of the Frost Bank Center continues to grow. Last week, the University of Texas at San Antonio announced plans to tear down the Institute of Texan Culture's building and move the museum elsewhere. That frees up close to 14 acres of land that the city has the exclusive option to buy or lease.
We want to be engaged in the future of that site, which is an extremely important area of the downtown that's being redeveloped.
The mayor's remarks came at the end of his annual State of the City address. City leadership has been kind of coy about the Spurs potentially moving downtown, but records obtained by KSAT last year revealed talks between the city and the Spurs organization had taken place. By the way, we're going to talk live to the mayor coming up around 6:30 tonight. The team's current lease at the Frost Bank Center expires in 2032.
Meantime, the race for San Antonio's next mayor is heating up, even though that race is more than a year away. It's been rumored for over a year now, but this morning, District 8 City Councilman Manny Pelaez confirmed those rumors. He is running for mayor. Pelaez joins District 9 Councilman John Courage in the race for mayor in May of 2025. Other council members have expressed interest in the mayor's seat, but have not made any official announcements.
Now to a big event aiming to provide big resources and big hope. The world's biggest summit focused on a genetic condition that causes tumors to grow on nerves, about to happen in San Antonio.
The short name for that condition is NF, and it affects 1 in about every 2,000 people. All those patients are born with that condition, but some don't show symptoms until they're young adults.
Courtney Friedman tells us more about the condition and what this summit in SA means.
At 6 months old, Krista Comfort was diagnosed with neurofibromatosis, or NF. It's a genetic tumor condition, but it's not cancer.
It causes tumors to grow on the nerves throughout the body, and because they can grow anywhere, there can be a wide range of complications.
Depending on where the tumors are, they can cause loss of vision and hearing, severe pain, and mobility problems. Comfort has 2 tumors on her optic nerves, some on her spinal cord, and 1 in the skin on the left side of her neck.
There has been little they've been able to do because it's so invasive in the skin that it would require years of surgery.
The condition comes with a stigma.
They're scared to ask you, what's happened, and that's why I get involved, in the summit.
Comfort is a board member of the Children's Tumor Foundation's Texas chapter and is organizing the world's largest NF patient summit right here in San Antonio this Thursday through Saturday.
You find out that you're not alone, and that there's so many people like you, going through the same things. You get to connect with physicians, researchers, and there's so many great clinical trials going on that were a blip on the radar 10 years ago.
In 2020, the FDA approved the very first drug to treat NF.
We have now 2 drugs that are in phase 3, which is the last phase before you go to the approval. And there is about 60-ish drugs now in the clinical pipeline.
Children's Tumor Foundation President Annette Bacher started in cancer research and recognized the intersect with conditions like NF. Now she's trying to bridge the gap and find cancer treatments that could work for NF and vice versa.
We are convinced that patients are partners in research.
She includes patients in trial designs, which is why there are so many more participants than other rare disease trials. Now she just needs pharmaceutical companies and investors to jump on board.
The research that's been being done today gives me so much hope that if we can't find a cure, we'll at least be able to keep this condition stable in my lifetime.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
The NF Summit Thursday through Saturday at the Hyatt Regency on the Riverwalk. We have a link to register on KSAT.com. Just find this story.
Happening later this week, Doc Talk. It is our segment featuring your medical questions, and this week it's all about kids, pediatric health care. Scan this QR code on your screen to send in questions you have, and we will take them to a University Health pediatrician. Doc Talk airs Thursday at 6:30.
You now have less than a week to get your taxes filed. People living in San Antonio can use the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program until April 15th to file their taxes for free. You can get those services at 13 locations throughout San Antonio and Fredericksburg. Some of those locations offer refund anticipation loans as well, and they don't charge fees or interest. For more information, go to VITASA.org.
Still ahead here on the news at 6, the San Antonio Book Festival is just a few days away. We're talking with one of the many featured authors and about what you can expect at that festival. Next.
And taking a quick look outside with live cam meteorologist Adam Caskey continuing to track storms that could move into the area later tonight. The timeline and primary threats to be aware of after the break.
Being a parent is hard. Imagine adding all those responsibilities and trying to finish your degree. On the Night Beat, we're going to tell you how a program here at Texas A&M is helping students overcome those challenges.
The 12th annual San Antonio Book Festival is happening this weekend with nearly 100 local, state, and national authors attending the event. We got to speak to Texas author and Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Joe Hawley. He's the author of Power: How the Electric Co-op Movement Energized the Lone Star State. In his book, Hawley tells the story about the stark differences in electricity use between rural and urban communities in the 1800s and how Texas ranchers, farmers, and rural families came together to bring electricity into their homes through the electric co-op movement.
It's a really interesting example of Texans, in this case rural Texans, coming together and working literally cooperatively to bring a benefit to their way of life, realizing how their lives would change if they had power on their farms and ranches.
There are books on all kinds of topics at this festival. It's happening this Saturday at the Central Library in UTSA Southwest Campus. It's for the whole family and it's free from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can find all of this information at KSAT.com.
Throughout the month of Fiesta, the San Antonio Food Bank hopes to collect 1.33 million pounds of food to celebrate the 133 years of the Battle of Flowers Parade. This year's theme is Viva Amor, and in honor of the Grand Marshal, President and CEO of the San Antonio Food Bank, Eric Cooper, the organization collecting food for the community. The food bank serves 100,000 people a week, has more than 600 partner organizations, and their own direct service program.
I do all I can to set the table for 105,000 people each week. And we couldn't do that without the generosity of many. And making this year's Battle of Flowers Parade a tradition of giving and service, an opportunity to help support the food bank in setting the table for our community. It just doesn't get any better than that.
She's done a great job as a spokesman for the food bank. It's been more than a year of work to get ready for the Battle of Flowers Parade Viva Amor 2024. The event attracts more than 550,000 spectators from around the nation. It is one of a kind. It's taking place April 26th.
How about this? How would you like to ride in that Fiesta Parade? All you need to do is scan the QR code you see here, then tell us what you love about Battle of Flowers to enter for a chance to ride on a float, and yes, show us your shoes. The Battle of Flowers Parade, again, is on Friday, the morning of Friday, April 26th.
And once you enter the contest to register to become a KSAT Insider, you can access tickets to our KSAT Fiesta parties. Scan this QR code to find all this information right now at KSAT.com.
Got a lot to look forward to. Adam Caskey, I know he is still riding a high from the Eclipse yesterday, but now we're turning our attention to these storms and medals.
Yeah,
yes,
and
definitely medals.
I knew I'd be riding that high from the Eclipse, and so my medals are Eclipse related.
Oh.
I like it.
I'll be unveiling them Thursday with my friends at Cowboys Air Conditioning and Heating, and then my first giveaway is Friday, so we'll be announcing that later this week. But more importantly, we have thunderstorms later on tonight and into the wee early morning hours. Primary threat is a localized hail, could be 1 to 2 inches in diameter, and then maybe even some isolated wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Flooding and tornadoes Although the risk is there, it's on the low end. You look at the activity so far, it's all off to the north of us. Even East Texas seeing some heavy rain. But the severe thunderstorms closer to Austin and off to the north, between Austin and San Angelo, basically. And just general heavy rainfall, Amarillo to Lubbock. And notice the switch over to blue there in New Mexico and right along the state line with Texas. A little bit of snow potentially mixed in on the cool side of this system. Big upper level low that's wound up, shoving that energy overhead. Same energy that was causing clouds for the eclipse yesterday, but we also have a cold front that's teaming up with it to help kickstart our showers and storms later on tonight. Here's the futurecast. And notice as we get to 9-10 o'clock this evening, a few pop-up thunderstorms. Don't pay close attention to the exact location here. It could really be anywhere you see on the map, but most likely in and around San Antonio and surrounding counties, especially between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. I think that's our primary window of opportunity. However, history and experience does tell us that these systems often, not always, but often move in a little quicker than anticipated. So we'll keep an extra eye out for that and have your notifications enabled on the KSAT Weather Authority app, because that's where we head first. Even when it's not severe thunderstorms, just general thunderstorms, we're there first live on the KSAT Weather Authority app, just like we're live right here. We're live on the app for you. And of course, on air as necessary outside of the newscast. But on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being definite severe storms, we're in a 2. You get to New Braunfels, even Selma, Schertz, Gonzales, Hallettsville, northward. That's a 3. Numerous severe thunderstorms likely from roughly Schertz all the way up I-35 and even over to Houston and Bryan and Lufkin. So that's tonight. By 4 a.m., 5 a.m., it's all out of here. Tomorrow morning's commute, A-OK. Not any rain issues like we had earlier today. We made it to 90 degrees for the high temperature. Once the clouds parted, that temperature skyrocketed today. Right now we're at 88, but here's the key. Dew point right near 70, so it feels like we're in the lower 90s. Wasn't the case everywhere, though, today across the state. Midland only made it to 59. Abilene, 68. Lubbock, 54 for the high temperature. Meanwhile, Del Rio, 96, and Laredo at 98. Even Carrizo Springs made it to 99. That cooler air to the north is pushing in, and you'll feel it the next few days. Dry line is just west of Highway 281. It crept its way in along the Rio Grande and eastward, and then that's going to be moving in, and a cold front's going to help push that dry line through along with the cold front, and that's going to drop our mugginess later on tonight. So the humidity is high locally right now. By 3 a.m., it really drops behind the cold front, and we'll have a lack of humidity in the air all the way through Friday. Later tonight, all the way through Friday. So low humidity tomorrow, 58 in the morning, 75 in the afternoon. Actually below average all day tomorrow, but windy. We'll get into the wind details more in depth coming up at 6:45. However, we will have some higher gusts. You'll notice that out of the northwest tomorrow. Humidity returns this weekend, and my voice is still kind of shot from the eclipse excitement. I can't help it.
If anybody has seen your reaction on social media, we understand.
Yeah.
Oh, I got made fun of a little bit around here today, in a good way.
We know where your voice went.
Yeah.
All right, so looks like the timing for the storms could work out at Wolf Stadium. I mean, we just want to make sure we cover our bases. Let's go live out there. Opening day at the Wolf. Mary.
If you're coming out to the ballpark, make sure you dress cool because I'm cooking out here. But yes, we're about 30 minutes away from first pitch between the Northwest Arkansas Naturals and the San Antonio Missions. It's opening day. It's a fun day. Lots of excitement. Be sure to stay with us. We've got more from opening day. Brahmas and Spurs right after the break. Welcome back to Wolf Stadium ahead of the San Antonio Missions opening day. The Missions, of course, the AA affiliate of the San Diego Padres. Now, not too long ago, Missions outfielder Zach Rex stopped by to say hello, and this is his first year with the team. We asked him how he feels being a part of such a talented clubhouse. Here it is.
Kind of embrace each day with my teammates. It's a new organization. Everyone's got new standards, and you kind of got to get used to how things flow day to day. Overall, we got a really great team here, so just being with the guys and developing relationships has been awesome. We got a lot of talent this year. It's definitely a double-A roster that I have never seen this much talent on before. It's an exciting team, and we got a lot of guys that could be potentially in the big leagues either this year or next year and be a performer in the big leagues. So it's going to be a really fun season for the city of San Antonio.
There's a lot of good baseball players in this system, and on paper, our Double-A club probably has our most prospects, our most top guys. Maybe the closest guys ready for the big leagues. And like Zach said, it's a very good locker room. It's a good group of dudes, a good group of baseball players. A lot of guys have got some kind of experience at this Double-A level. There's some guys that got a little bit of Triple-A time and some big league time. So it's fun to have this kind of group of guys, and it's always saying the manager just stay out of the way, don't mess it up.
All right, well, the San Antonio Brahmas are off to a 2-0 start to the 2024 UFL season, but unfortunately, they'll have to proceed without a few key guys, including their star-studded kicker, Donald De La Haye, a.k.a. Destroying. De La Haye fractured his neck in multiple places on a tackle attempt against Memphis, and center Alex Millette, who caught a fake punt touchdown in Week 1, was placed on the IR, but isn't expected to miss the full season, according to OC A.J. Smith. All right, well, tonight at 7, the San Antonio Spurs begin their final road trip of the 2023-24 NBA regular season at Memphis against the Grizzlies, who, like the Spurs, are not in playoff contention. Memphis's playoff hopes didn't last long this season as they've been shackled with injuries. The Spurs are down a few key guys themselves, Devin Vassell and Jeremy Sohan, but San Antonio's development flows through rookie phenom Victor Wembanyama. So anytime he's on the court, which he's done a great job of in his debut season, the Spurs are improving slowly but surely. Tip-off is tonight at 7 o'clock. The Spurs are trying to avoid matching or even setting a new record for their worst record in franchise history of 20-62 set in 1997. Tonight on the Night Beat, we'll recap all of the games, the missions, the Spurs, you name it. We'll have it. Be sure to tune in. Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you, Mary. Let's hope they get that game in out there with all the weather in our area.
For sure. We'll be right back. All right, time now for our KSAT Q&A. We are joined by San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg. He's had a busy day. They're all busy for you, we know, but you gave your State of the City address earlier this morning. We're going to talk about a few things that you hit on during that. Thanks for being here. First of all,
great to be with you.
We're going to talk about something that we've asked about a few times, right? The Spurs potentially moving downtown. In the last week, there's been movement possibly on that, at least a key spot that's been eyed as a possible relocation. The Institute of Texan Cultures. We know that's going to be demolished. So the city has, right, the exclusive option to buy or lease that. Do we know when, is there a timeline on that decision?
Sure. Well, thank you, Myra and Steve. Good to see you. So we know the ITC Institute is important, and it's going to be moving to a new site. We also know that the current building, which is in a pretty significant state of disrepair and hasn't been used in quite some time, is going to be torn down. The city does have a right of first refusal on that property because it's a really important part of our downtown landscape. And there's a lot of conversations going on with respect to the downtown redevelopment strategy, including where it sits, which is right on the doorstep of Hemisphere, which itself is going through a major redevelopment that has been voted on a few times by the voters. So the timeline for this is there's really not anything specific other than we expect a lot of this to unfold this year. So clarity on what will happen with that site, I expect to happen this year.
What would you say to people who have questions about this decision-making process to potentially relocate the Spurs, about whether it's going to be transparent or not?
Sure. Well, I can certainly attest to the fact that anything that happens with respect to major venues, sporting venues, convention centers, Alamo Domes, Those are all very transparent processes. Any public funds that are expended to redevelop our community go through a significant public process. What I guess people are anxious about is the fact that the Spurs are a really important entity in San Antonio, a critical organization, one of the entities that we create our identity around internationally. And there's a lot of speculation because there's really no plans at the moment. What we do know is that the Frost Bank Center is 25 or so years old, and they're reaching the end of the lease. So there's a tremendous amount of speculation of whether or not, in the midst of all this downtown redevelopment, that the Spurs, in fact, will be going to a new venue, and if that happens, if it will be downtown. Obviously, the city, myself included, have a significant interest in that conversation. If there is a new Spurs venue, we want it to be in the downtown area, and I can't think of a better place than in this general vicinity. So a lot of that is just speculation, though. There are no plans. Rest assured, as those plans come together, there will be plenty of public conversation.
It's safe to say conversations are still ongoing, though, about what happens there and the Spurs downtown.
That's right. And I have shared the details to the extent that we have them in terms of what's going to happen and the city's involvement, for instance, in the ITC site, helping the UTSA system figure out what to do and how to make sure that the ITC has a permanent place in our community, which it will have. So, a lot of it is still kind of in speculative conversation, but there's when things become more than that, certainly there will be lots of public conversation.
All right, let's go from the ITC to the MRC, the Migrant Resource Center on San Pedro. A lot of talk about federal funding ending, and maybe there'd have to be some cutbacks there. There's even some speculation that maybe Catholic Charities wouldn't be able to keep that center open at night. Where are we in the ongoing discussions with the Migrant Resource Center right now?
Sure. And I always have to start with this, and I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but the city of San Antonio, our local government, has no authority over who crosses our border under federal statute. And the folks that are brought to the MRC come to the MRC legally because they are in the process largely of seeking asylum. What we can do is protect public safety, maintain semblance of order in our community as this happens, and also uphold our values that we treat people with dignity. And we've been able to do that through the MRC. It has been reimbursed and funded by the federal government in partnership with the Department of Homeland Security. We did find out that in the budget negotiations, the bipartisan budget resolution, the continuing resolution to fund our government, that there's additional funds in there for local communities being impacted by migration. We don't know the rules around those funds yet and how they're going to be expended. We anticipate that it will provide some additional funds for us to continue operating the MRC because we have to deal with the impacts of migration. What we do know for sure, though, is that our current MRC continues to operate. We have existing federal funds that will keep us in operation roughly through September based on the current flows of migration over the southern border. So we're in okay shape right now, provided that the numbers stay relatively low, which they are right now. What I will tell you also, though, is that it's a little bit uncertain what's going to happen next. There's been speculation about what happens if the funding does not come through. Catholic Charities had made some statements a couple of weeks ago that they were running out of funds, so they would have to potentially shut down at night. We actually shared a portion of our federal reimbursements with them, our federal funds with them, so that they didn't have to do that because it's important that we keep this facility operating if we want to minimize the impacts to the local communities. So fortunately for us, the MRC continues to operate, continues to do an excellent job. The folks that are working there, Catholic Charities workers, some city employees as well. And we are able to do, again, what I've said from the start, which is we're going to protect public safety. We're going to maintain order in this process, and we're going to continue to treat people with dignity.
So you gave your next to last state of the city today. And one of the things you talked about workforce development, you talked about attacking pockets of poverty in our community, but you also talked about the airport and you talked about some of the developments that are obviously happening there, how important the airport is to any city. Are we looking at more direct flights. Is that something that you would like to see, more direct flights, so we don't have to always go? I mean, Dallas and Houston are fine cities, but we don't have to always go through them when we're heading someplace.
100%. Yes, we want more direct flights, and we actually have more direct flights coming. In fact, if folks look at the roster of direct flights we have and compare that to just a few years ago, we've increased significantly. There's great interest, obviously, in direct flights to Mexico. That's booming. We have our first direct transatlantic flight from San Antonio, Frankfurt, starting next month. So San Antonio Airport, International Airport, is on a roll. We continue the redevelopment strategy. You're going to see the terminal being built later this year. We're also expanding with a new ground loading facility. So the amenities and the passenger experience while you're on the ground in San Antonio is going to be dramatically improved. We have millions of dollars of federal funds that are coming in through the FAA to build out this airport. So at long last, decades of waiting, we finally have our terminal development plan underway, and San Antonio Air Service is going to dramatically improve over the next several years.
Does that also include more direct domestic flights as well?
Yes. Absolutely, yes. And I just point out Mexico because obviously San Antonio, we are a gateway to Mexico, but there are a lot more domestic direct flights happening as well. And additional flights, nonstop flights to existing destinations, which creates competition that benefits the consumer. So you have better price competition, more availability for flights throughout the day. We want to expand that. One of the flights that is in high demand that we don't have that actually takes congressional action to make happen is a direct flight from San Antonio to Reagan National Airport in Washington, D.C. That's important for business, for travelers in general, but also for our military. And we're trying to make that happen. We think we have a window for congressional action to make that happen this year as well.
Yeah, the perimeter rule. There's a KSAT explains about that.
That's right. That's right. Great job on that, Myra. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Mayor, so much for being here.
Have a great evening, all. Thanks.
Thank you. We'll be right back. It's insurance that's through the roof. The price of homeowners insurance just keeps on climbing. In Texas, rates rose some 23% just last year, double the national average.
You've seen it in your premiums. So 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz found some ways to help you save money.
The cost of insuring your home is up dramatically, pushed by extreme weather events and inflation, making repairs more expensive. So what can you do? Start by shopping around. Consider a local independent broker who sells policies from several insurance companies. And this website, helpinsure.com, helps you compare companies and policies. And you've heard it before, but bundle up.
Purchasing your homeowners and auto insurance from the same company can provide savings of up to 30% overall.
Keep your deductible high. Going to a $1,000 deductible from $500 could shave your premium by 25%. Keep your house in shape.
The age of your roof matters. If your roof is old, your insurer may charge you up to 15% more. So, get ahead of the storm and replace your roof.
Same goes for older plumbing. A home security system and gas and water leak detectors could also save you money. Clean up your credit. Like it or not, most insurers can use what's called a credit-based insurance score. They can check your score often and use it to set your price. Consider your risk. Many insurers say the risk of dog bites and liability lawsuits is greater with certain breeds, so you might be denied coverage or have to pay more. Trampolines and swimming pools are safety risks, and if you're a smoker, that could be a fire risk, raising your cost.
Finally, be cautious about filing claims. Filing one every few years, probably not a big deal, but experts say if you file 3 in just a couple of years, you could end up with higher rates or even being dropped. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take another look outside with live cam this evening. Adam Caskey monitoring some storms expected to move through the area tonight. But we also got some pretty pleasant weather changes after that.
Yeah. A lot to tell you coming up after the break.
All right, we said we got a lot to talk about, and we certainly do. First up, these storms tonight, Adam.
Yeah, we do have some storms tonight and also a cold front that's going to help trigger some of those storms and cause some changes for tomorrow and the rest of the week. That cold front moves through. Behind it, less humid and cooler temperatures. 90 today, 70s tomorrow for a high temperature. But let's get to our primary threats from the storms later on tonight. Hail, as usual, tops the list, as we could have some localized hail cores of 1 to 2 inch diameter hail. Remember, it's impossible to know where that hail is going to hit until the hail-making storm develops. But if you can, park underneath or park in a shelter or underneath some cover tonight, just as a precaution, right? Never hurts to do that. Could have a few wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. And this is mainly going to be while you're sleeping tonight. Here's the situation. Most of the storms right now north of us, closer to Austin and just west of Burnett and Marble Falls, and even just some heavy rain, Amarillo to Lubbock. This is all part of this big upper level low, that counterclockwise swirl, this dip in the upper level flow. And ahead of it, you get the good energy. Unfortunately, we weren't getting that good widespread soaking rain earlier today, but we had a few showers out there. As we go on through the night tonight, by 9, 10 o'clock, a few isolated showers and storms possible, but we think a higher likelihood and more coverage of those storms between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. And don't pay particular attention to the exact location of the heaviest rain here on the Futurecast. Could really be anywhere within this field of view at the given time. But by 4 a.m., 5 a.m., it's all out of here. We clear out and we dry out. So really, by 3, 4 o'clock, everything's going to be fine. If you can make it through till then, everything's going to be okay. We'll be live here in the studio on the weather app, as well as KSAT 12 on air as necessary, and online, of course. 88 degrees right now, dew point is 69, feels like 92. You look at Lubbock, 45, Amarillo, 41. Those are the current temperatures up into the Panhandle. Quite a contrast from the 93 in Del Rio, 99 in Laredo, and even Carrizo Springs made it to 99 today. Well, that cold front's going to be moving in along with the dry line, and that's going to help kickstart some of those showers and storms into the night. But the cold front doesn't even arrive until about 1 a.m. Hondo right now at 92, Rio Medina 90, and there's some humidity out there. The dry line has moved in just west of 281. So Rio Medina, look at this, comfortable at 57 for the dew point. Helotes, super muggy at 72. There's the West Texas dry line. It's going to be retreating westward a little bit in the coming hours as we lose our sunlight and the sun sets, but cold front's going to make up for it later on tonight. Notice the dew points falling off the next few days, actually all the way through Friday and into Saturday. A lack of mugginess and humidity. Then by Sunday, it's back. And next week does look like it could be a little bit of an active pattern with storm potential daily. That's something we'll be able to hone in on in the days ahead. Wind gusts out of the northwest tomorrow, likely picking up to between 30 and 40 miles per hour. So that's something to prepare for tomorrow, those gusty winds. But highs only in the mid-70s. Look at those morning temperatures. Down in the lower 50s, 52 Thursday and Friday morning, so a little below average then. How about that voice from the Eclipse? Feels a little raspy.
Can we get you some hot tea before these storms come in? I'm a little worried about
I am too. I'll have some tea ready while I'm doing
I have
that.
some in my desk if you need some.
Thank you.
All right, Eclipse elopers and stop and go traffic in the bus. To the buzz, and yesterday at the Bexar County Courthouse, around a dozen couples tied the knot on the day of the eclipse. But over in Russellville, Arkansas, 358 couples got married during the eclipse. The event, Elope at the Eclipse, was described by some as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
The mass wedding ended just before the sky went dark. 99% of the U.S. saw at least a partial eclipse yesterday.
I guess, if you're looking for a good day to get married.
We had some wedding pictures yesterday of the couples in their eclipse glasses right after they said, I do. Said, a lot of couples don't have that.
I have a bright future.
First responders received a unique call for help in Kansas City, Missouri. A goat got trapped on the edge of a highway overpass, but luckily after several attempts, the animal was rescued.
How did it get there?
No
All right.
idea.
No one is sure how the goat got into this scary situation. I'm not going to say bad like he wants me to. He's recovering at KC Pet Project receiving fluids, and his owners are optimistic he will make a full recovery. He'll be able to get on overpasses again.
He didn't look too worried about it.
No.
We'll be right back.